Now we're going to look at the font feature of the Home tab. Earlier we looked at the clipboard feature. Now we're going to look at the font feature. First of all, let's see what this toggle does down here. When I click on this toggle, it gives me a format cells dialog box. This format cells dialog box has some extensive features that you can utilize for adjusting your font beyond whatever basic formatting that you have already done. So I will give you a quick example. Right now this D has been superscripted. So I will delete this DF. I'll hit enter. I'll go back in and I will type in DF. So now I want the D to be superscripted because it's degrees Fahrenheit. So now what I do is I highlight the D and then I click on this toggle to get my format cells, and then right down here is the option to superscript. I click on superscript, I click OK, and now that D has moved up. So now I'm able to work within the cell to change the font or change how the font appears. Now let's highlight this table. The first option that we have within this font subsection of the Home tab is that we are able to change the font style. So as I hover over these different font styles, you can see how my table on the right is changing to show the impact of these font styles. So you have quite a few fonts to choose from. So we will go scroll through here and just hover over a few of them to see what they look like. We are going to search for a particular font and see if this right here, the Georgia font's a nice font, so we'll keep this font. So now the text in our column has a Georgia font. The next option here is to change the font size. Well, that's, as you can see how the different sizes look as you hover over them. So we'll stick to 12. And then let's this next option here is to make the bold. So we'll make our title bold. Then the next one is italic. We can make it italic, however we don't need it to be italic. The next one is underline or ununderline, and with this one we can increase the font size or we can decrease the font size. Now this right here allows us to put borders on our table. So first of all I will remove the border from this table, and there's an option here for no border. So right now our table has no borders, so let's give it some borders. So we will start out by highlighting the areas that are going to need some borders. So we will put a thin border over here, and then we will put a second thin border over here. And this, there are different kinds of border options that you can use. You can also draw a border, and well, we don't need to draw one for our purposes. However, you can go through the list of possible options that you have for borders. You can change the color of the border, change the color of the line for the drawing the border. So it's just giving you a different color border. And this, I'll just undo that for right now. And then the next option is that so you have to hit escape to escape drawing the border. So next option is change the color cell. Let's change the color for our temperatures degrees Fahrenheit. We will turn it into like maybe red or a darker red. Now it's hard to read temperatures Fahrenheit, so we need to change the font. So let's change the font to so that it's to white, so that it's easier to read. Now this next one is just a font colors. So these are just some basic changes you can make to your table to make your font look nice. Let's quickly review the format cells call out as well. Now this format cell has all types of format features for your cell. You can determine the type of numbers that you're going to see, and then you can change the format of the numbers. Like if I click on numbers, you can also increase or decrease the decimal sizes. So let's say that we wanted to see these numbers at least one decimal place. I could come here, I could click on the dialog box that will show me the formatting, and I could click on numbers, and I could click on number right here, and I want to go maybe one decimal place, and then I can use a comma as a separator. Well, the comma is not going to show because none of our values are 3, but I'll just use one decimal place, and I click OK, and now all of our data is showing is one decimal place. So this is just a basic feature for the font for the fonts under the Home tab.